So this is a review for Goosebumps Season 2, Episodes 24 and 25, Night of the Living Dummy 3, Part 1 and Part 2. I fucking love anything to do with Slappy, and this is by far my favorite episode of the entire series. So, those chips are stale, which makes me upset. But anyway, the information says, when Dad brings home a ventriloquist dummy, Trina and her brother Dan and their cousin Zane think it's just another dummy when they realize that Slappy is much more than that. But then they realize Slappy is much more than that. Why can't I fucking read today? Anyway, episode 2 says Trina and Daniel make up with their cousin, and their parents leave the three kids alone, home in the house alone with their father's evil ventriloquist doll. This is my fucking favorite favorite episode, movie, whatever, in the entire in the entire Goosebumps universe. Like, fucking love ice cream. Yes, it's nice and melty because that's how I like it. Anyway. Oh god, that's so fucking good. This is truly my favorite fucking episode. So, we start out the episode with Trina in the attic, and then Daniel, her brother, comes up, and they're like, something's suspicious. You know right away something's suspicious. And you see one of the ventriloquists, one of the puppets, I forget his name, Rocky, starts talking to them, and there's nobody seemingly there. And he's there. The best line, he's like, "It's past your bedtime," and they're scared for a moment, and then they realize it's their dad hiding behind the chair with his hand through the chair into the dummy, which is so fucking cool. And then they show you a moment where the dad can throw his voice, and that's fucking cool. Also cool. So then the mom comes upstairs because chaos in the attic, everyone's got to come up, and that's where the dad shows Slappy the new doll that he bought. And he's got a cracked eye, and he's like, I'm gonna glue his eye back in place, and he's gonna be good as new. Then the mom asks, why are you home so early? And he goes, I thought it would be important for me to be here when Zane comes. Apparently they have issues with their cousin Zane. He's too uptight and scaredy, and they scared him last year so bad that he couldn't sleep without the light on for a while. So they find this little card in Slappy's pocket, and they read the words. I'm not reading the words. I'm superstitious. No, actually, I just don't remember all the words. It's Kuru, Odana, something. So they read the words, and Dad glues the eye in place, and when he puts the doll down to let the glue dry, you see this magical light up seal of the eye healing. Really fucking cool, right? Fucking cool. So next morning, Slappy scares him at the breakfast table because that's where they set him up to scare him. Cousin comes, and he's into photography now, but he is terrified of dummies, apparently. So, of course, they kind of tease him a little bit, but not crazy. There's one scene that starts off where the dad is trying to get the cousin Zane used to puppets, and he does the little act with Slappy, but Slappy kicks him. Now, you, from a bystander's perspective, is oh, the dad pulled a lever, hit something, accidentally did it. That's what you think. That's what everyone thinks. But he freaks out because he's scared of dummies, and he overreacts, and it's trauma. So later that night, when he's going to bed, he sees Rocky in a hockey mask on his bed, and he freaks out, and Trina and Daniel get the blame for it, because why else would a dummy be set up in his room? To scare the fuck out of him. They mess with his photography, pictures of them turn out to be pictures of dummies, which I want to know how they did that, how the prankster did that. So the thing you find out at the end of this episode is it was all a prank. The kids get grounded, obviously, but it was all a prank by Zane. Zane was trying to get back at them for last year. So the three of them make up, and they're oh, it's cool, we understand, blah, 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 blah. Episode 2. Episode 2, which is episode 25, part 2. the kids get left alone because the parents go out to dinner. I don't remember if it's like an anniversary dinner or a special dinner or whatever. They just go out and they leave the kids. And now the kids, they're playing a game. And I'm not sure if they go downstairs to get something to eat or they do something, but they go downstairs and they see puppets starting to be arranged in weird ways. 2 of the puppets are on the ceiling fan. One of the puppets is in a water jug, and when they're all like talking about it, like, yeah, how can you even do that? You can't fit that in there. Like, it's not us, it's not him, it's not anything. They turn around and Slappy is sitting perfectly on the table. He wasn't there when they came into the room. How did he get there? So they're taunting him. They're like, the siblings are thinking it's Zane, and Zane's like, it's not me. And so he goes over to Slappy and he's like, oh, come on, buddy, old pal, kick me. If you're like in there, kick me. And he kicks him, and he's like, all you had to do was say please. So come to find out, Slappy's alive. Dun, 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 dun. Of course, we saw that already in the episode. And Slappy is Slappy, and he does his thing, and he terrifies the kids running around the house. Like, this is such a fucking cool-ass puppet. I love it. The best part about this episode is we actually see Slappy turn Zane into a puppet. That is so fucking cool. And if you watch the new series compared to this one, where they turn them into puppets, this one was so much fucking better. Because, yeah, the new series had them, like, with the wooden cheeks and the lines. But these puppets were the stature. Like, these look like someone took the time and care and made a puppet of this person. And that's so fucking cool. I think that's so much better. The original was so much fucking better. For the puppet, as I mean. They try to defeat Slappy. Like, there's no way of, like, defeating Slappy in a sense. But they toss him out a window, and he's like, I always come back. And then he gets struck by lightning and obviously can't come back. And killing Slappy, let's also mention, because I didn't mention it, that he brought Rocky to life. So that's how he got thrown out the window, was him and Rocky were fighting, because Rocky stood up for his family, because that man is a fucking boss. Rocky is a puppet, by the way. Talking about a puppet. And he threw him out the window, and he goes, I forget what he fucking says, but then he gets struck by lightning, and killing him kills all of the puppets and brings Zane back to life. They flash to the ending where they're straightening up Rocky, putting his hat on and, like, making him look neat. I don't remember if he moves or if it just feels like he's still alive, but, like, I think he was still alive. That would have been awesome if he was, too. And then they flash to Zane leaving, and they're talking like, oh yeah, we're gonna come for Christmas and blah 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 blah. And then Zane turns his head all the way around to the back, and he goes, it's been nice seeing you, cousins. And his head goes all the way around, and you're like, oh, that's fucking creepy. Because, yeah, that would have been so cool though if it was Night of the Living Dummy where Slappy had taken over Zane's body. That would have been kind of cool. So what are your thoughts on Night of the Living Dummy Part 3? Parts 1 and 2, because it's 3. And anyway, please comment, like, subscribe, and let me know what you think.